As a business owner, what is a talent that you discovered that you did not know that you had?
I think the biggest thing I didn't realize, I didn't realize I was so good at teaching. And I was so good at teaching or storytelling or making things digestible and easy to understand. Um, and that's the biggest thing, mainly through my courses and through one-on-one sessions and DMs, where people are like, dude, I've went to 6 other people, bought 8 other courses, and you just explained this in a DM voice message in a way that made a lot more sense than anybody else. And to me, I'm just like, okay, I'm just talking, but I guess I had a natural ability to break down hard concepts in a way that the majority of people are like, wow, that makes sense, and then we can start getting deeper and deeper with it. That was the main thing. I say the second thing is being able to achieve what I've achieved, at 23, being able to leave my job when originally my plan was to leave my job when I was like 27, which still, I guess, seemed like a crazy goal to have. But to be able to do it at 23 and to be able to make what I make and to be able to help the people in the way I help and have the freedom I have, we see these things and we see these people who, I made a six-figure business at this age and I do this and that. And I'm like, wow, I'm one of those people. Like, and it usually seems just like so far to reach. I retired at 40, 30, 20 something, right? Um, and I think that I had confidence before, but the times that I do take a step back and say, wow, you really did that, that just gives me the confidence even more to really say in a room, and this happened at the mastermind, we were going around naming our goals for the year as far as revenue. And I said, my revenue last year was 180. My revenue this year is going to be 1.5. And the whole room was just like silent, just silent, right? Because for them, I guess they don't have as much confidence as I do, maybe, or maybe they have different business structures. But for me to be 23 and work a full-time job in sales, so that required a little more outside of work because I need to be available on the weekends. I'd be on Zooms with clients at 11 at night and have to be at work the next day. Um, so for me to be as young as I am, work full time, still go to the gym, all that stuff, and create, a business that brings in 180 or brought in 180. Um, and now that I left that job, come on, man. Come on. I don't know. I was telling my brother, I was like, man, I could probably do 500,000 a year and just kind of be chilling, you know, like still do some work, but it just wouldn't be a lot of hard work. And I think that's just like as far as the skill goes, it's just being able to break down barriers, being able to see over obstacles, you know, and now I can game plan it and I just go through it. I go through it, I jump over it, I crawl under it. I don't care. I'm going through it. Um, and that's it. There's nothing I really feel like I can't do if I really wanted to do it. If I really wanted to be a pilot, I could go learn how to fly a plane. I could be a pilot. Right. So just having that confidence and ability, and belief is something I didn't have as deep, I guess, before, but that's been brought out of me.
What is an aspect of owning a business that you needed to work on?
I got you. So I think this kind of kicks into the inexperience, and not leaning on my support systems more as I did things. A business isn't just making money. It's not just making sales. And I I I entered legal contracts without consulting attorneys. I don't even remember what the question was anymore. I just know it was like, tell us what you messed up on. But I entered legal contracts without attorneys. I wasn't keeping up with my books. I wasn't keeping up with any of that, like the accounting and bookkeeping. So when it's tax time, it was kind of like, oh, I was supposed to keep track of all that stuff. Um, keeping up with financial statements and all of that, or having that in place. So that was my thing, is not that I didn't know that that was there. Things like intellectual property. Like I just filed for a trademark last week, or to file for another trademark now. But on the business side, if I didn't have the trademark rights to my logo, somebody could come and be like, "Hey, man, that's my logo. You got to stop using it," even though it was a logo that my graphic designer created. And I've been using for however long. Um, I actually tried to terminate somebody, and I couldn't terminate them because of the contract. It was a contract that I wrote, but I didn't get it reviewed. It left a lot of ambiguity into how they were performing their job. It was just a whole mess where I said, wow, I don't want to work with this person anymore. I want to terminate them. And they were like, you can't, you know. And so they actually threatened to sue me recently. It was very recent. Um, I was like, wow, okay, lesson learned. So I think that's some of the things, is a business is very multifaceted. It's not just Instagram posting sales. It's not just, making products and courses or whatever the case is. But there's a lot of stuff on the backside that matters a lot more at the end of the day than the front side. You get an unexpected tax bill of $30,000, but you weren't managing your books. So you were making money and spending it right back, but you weren't budgeting, right? Um, and that goes into using that network. So now I'm like, okay, before I make this move, let me ask, hey, does anybody have a person that can look over this contract with me, or whatever the case is, getting an attorney on retainer. So I have an attorney I can reach out to whenever. Um, is a lot of the deeper side of things to business that I didn't really think about up front, because I was just like, I'm just trying to help people, getting paid, life is good. Then the IRS sent some mail to the house and said, hey, you need to pay us. I'm like, oh, I'm expecting that.
Okay. If you could give advice to your 18-year-old self, what would it be?
I almost said something. Focus. I almost said a Chris Brown line, but focus. I'll let you figure out what line it is. Focus, limit distractions. Limit distractions. In all seriousness, when I was 18, I put too much focus into other people. Um, kind of like chasing the girls type of thing and all of that, but also what other people thought about me and what I did. Um, and the whole thing, and we all go through it to an extent of, whether it's trying to talk a certain way, or whether it's trying to dress a certain way, or whether it's trying to hang out with a certain crowd. Um, I would tell my 18-year-old self to like let all that stuff go, bro. Like none of these people even really matter, you know. Um, and you have your own path that requires you to keep looking down the road. And if you walking down your road and you start looking to the right too long, you're gonna start veering off your path, and that's what started happening. So that's what I would tell myself, is stay on your path, keep your eyes straight. If you want to check something out, use your peripheral, but keep your eyes and your head forward. Um, and then just get around people who have the right mindset a lot earlier. One thing I was good about, I'm very good with cutting people off who are just a negative impact on my life. Um, if they come with drama, if they want to talk all the time about stuff that really doesn't matter, like Kanye and Kim and whoever else, like I can't talk to you every week about some celebrity stuff. You know, I got my own stuff I'm trying to deal with. Their celebrity relationships. I got my own relationships I'm trying to manage, not be all up in somebody else's relationship drama. So um that would be the main things. Focus on discipline, focus on keeping your eyes forward, your head forward, reduce distractions, look at things for what they are initially. Try to look at the future on stuff. Try to see, is what I'm doing leading me down a path that's going to produce a positive result? And if not, drop it. Or is this relationship with this person going to lead me to a positive result, whether it's a friendship or a more personal partnership? If not, drop it. Um, and that's what I've been good at, is dropping. But putting people in my life who were like-minded on the same track is what I didn't really start doing until like the very end of college. And I think I would have, telling how much further I would be, if I was around a bunch of Jordan thinkers, a lot younger.
Gotcha. Who has been an inspiration or mentor in your life?
Mentors, plenty. Inspiration, my future self. Um, so mentors, I I've had a lot of different mentors for different things, whether it's spiritual, whether it's business. And like I said, it's a matter of finding people who are headed towards where you're going, or people who are already there, who can shout at you, hey, go left, hey, keep straight, right? Like somebody who's already at the finish line that can guide you there. So I've had multiple business mentors who taught me multiple things, spiritual mentors who have helped me deal with spiritual things. Um, so it's a lot, right? My pastors, like Pastor Kareem Singleton, he was the main one. It's a lot. I could go on and on. Dr. Shamika Gibson is one of my business mentors. Donnie Wiggins is one of my business coaches. A lot of people. Um, but as far as the inspiration, looking at my future self, and like when I said, I want to be there for my kids whenever they have stuff going on. That was something that the men in my life growing up weren't there for. And I had that whole situation where I had fathers, I had a dad, I had a stepdad, but we didn't have a real relationship. Like now we tight. I can call both of them up, kick it, have a nice conversation. But that really didn't come till I was around 20, 21, years old. But I lived with my mom and my stepdad for a long time. Then I moved to Mississippi and lived with my biological father for a long time. But they were so they needed to be out to produce and provide for the family. Right. And so while we were provided for physically, I wasn't really provided for as a man emotionally, right? Or mentally. It wasn't, like one of my best friends taught me how to tie a tie, like how to tie my ties, like for real. And we see like the movies and stuff from like back in the day where like, the kids in the mirror with his dad tying a tie, or the kids like shaving with his dad, or like, messing with the shaving cream. I ain't had it, you know. And so I want to be able to give that to my kids. Um, Sports events the same way, where I would be at events running track, and I just had to, talk to my friends' moms because my mom wasn't there, my stepmom. But they were at work, like, they were at work a lot of times, and that's the thing, is they had to be at work to provide. So I'm creating something for myself where, again, like as long as I got my laptop and a phone, I'm good. And the way I'm structuring my businesses, I won't really need to do much of anything. My businesses will still be able to produce six figures, and I might only need to do 1 day a week of work. And so I could spend the rest of the day, the rest of the week doing anything. Um, or I have a team that does the stuff, so I don't need to do it. Right. Or I have, the automations in place where I don't need to do it. So that's been my inspiration in a sense, is looking at how I came up, what I didn't like, what I didn't want to experience, or I didn't want to experience, but I did. And then how can I make myself what I wanted?
Gotcha. And this is my last question. What has been your key to success that has gotten you this far?
Key to success, my key to success, my key to success. Mm, I want to say is really um, support. We could say it's a mix, man. It's a mix. I say, God, I say my family, myself, certain friends who are a support system. Um, because I do believe that regardless of whether I have support or not, I'm still gonna do what I'm gonna do. It don't make a difference if my mom is like, "Yeah, that idea is stupid." My dad, "That idea is stupid." Okay, stupid to you. Might not be stupid to the 30,000 people who follow me on Instagram. You're not my audience, you know? And so regardless of support, regardless of how other people feel, I don't really care. So um that's something that, you know, I had though. And so it was a lot better where it was, instead of them being like, that's a dumb idea, or instead of them being like, man, I feel indifferent, it was, hey, that's a good idea. Have you thought about switching this up? Have you thought about presenting it this way? Have you thought about, this or that? I'm like, oh, I didn't think about that. That's actually a great idea. That actually happened last night. Something where I was running a special on, I was doing a free trial for 1 month, and I thought I had everything laid out on the website a great way. And my assistant's wife was helping him do some stuff for me, and she was like, he should probably switch this up on his website. And I was like, huh, let me look at it. And so people had like slowly been trickling in. It was like every 10 minutes, somebody would like do the free trial. I switched the thing up on my site, and it was just like bing, 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 bing. Like people were just signing up like crazy. I'm like, yo, having that support, um, I think is a big key. When you have that overwhelm or when you have burnout is real. Um, I just have like a week of burnout instead of like a random day here or there. Like I just have, I'll go hard 25 weeks straight. And I have 1 week where I'm just like, dude, I don't care about none of this. But even in that, and people know that, even in that, I got people who, when I go down, they're there to help me up. I think that's the biggest key, aside from my own, inner, I'm gonna make this happen. Having people there when you fall, they're there to catch you before you fall. So that's how I don't even have to hit the floor. They'll catch me and help me back up. I think it's the biggest thing.
Okay. Well, that's it for me. Do you have anything for the people watching this interview?
I do, man. So, man, I know you'll put it in the description, with my contact information, how to get in reach with me, how to see what I have to offer, whether it's stock related, whether it's entrepreneurship related. But I think the big thing I want to say at the end, just to close it all out, is the fact that I'm 23 and I was working full time and created a business doing something that I loved, helping other people, that allowed me to retire at 23, and that's like a thing that's is crazy. Is I'm 23 and I had a boss, man. Like don't worry about what folks tell you. I had a boss when I was at college. I was a resident assistant, and I'm not gonna say his name, but we were talking about, he's like, where do you see yourself in 5 years or something? Um, and I might have been 20 at the time, or 21, or whatever the number was. But I was like, man, or it might have been 10 years. Where you see yourself in 10 years? And I was like, retired? I don't know what I'm gonna be doing. I might be on an island somewhere traveling. I don't know. It's like, what? When? I'm like, man, I'm 27. I'm done. I'm not. I'm not punching nobody clock at 27. He was like, dude, that's crazy. No, be realistic. I'm like, I'm serious. 27, I'm done. Like whatever it is I'm doing, I could be whatever, manager here, whatever. I'm done at 27. Um, and he really didn't believe me. I told him he looked crazy. I'm like, dude, you don't know who you're talking to right now. Like, humbly, you don't realize, you're looking at from your lens, so he was like, well, when you retire, come let me know. And I actually did send him a message the day I sent him two messages. One was when I started making 10,000 a month through subscriptions, right? So it was pretty much passive. And so I was like, send him a screenshot. I'm like, hey man, remember you told me it was crazy? I make 10,000 a month now, passively, right? I'm still working full time, but I could leave. And then when I left my job, I actually flew down to where he was at. Um, and he apologized and he was like, I didn't mean it that way. But I was like, yeah, you told me I couldn't do it. And I did it 4 years early. So that's the thing I want people to really think is, really understand is you can do whatever it is you want. Like dead serious. You can do it. It's just a matter of you putting the work in to make it happen, getting the connections who can help you get there. You don't got to do it on your own. It's people who've done the things. It's people who've written books about it, put courses together about it, put videos about it, podcasts about it. Go learn from them. Don't figure it out on your own, but you could do it. 25, 24, you could be 19. If I was 19 and I did what I did, from like 21 or during when I was 22, because I knew enough to create the business I have now back then. I did know enough. And that was in high school. I had an Instagram following of over 60,000 people. So I had an audience and I had the knowledge. So I could have never had to I didn't have to financially go to no job because I was trading. But having the business solidified it to where I can trade for a living. But even if I don't feel like trading, I still got money coming in. So that's my last thing, man, is like just do it. Whatever it is, do it, figure it out, lay it out, research it, make it happen.
Gotcha. Well, I appreciate your time, Jourdan.
Thanks for having me, Keith.
All right. You have a good rest of your day. All right.
You too.